Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast. Today is June 9th. I want to say thank you for listening. And if you stumbled across us on the interwebs, you can catch us at kfpodcast.com or facebook.com/kfpodcast or Ken Fred Podcast on the Twitter. Yeah. So today on the show, we have special guests. The one and the only Brock is here today.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hey, Brock. And to the left of Brock, we have...
the cheese ball.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, it's Justin. All right. And then to the left of Justin is...
Not to the left of Justin, because that would be Brock again.
Yeah. Hey, how's everybody doing?
So Justin's right?
Right. Yeah, I'm on
my
the right.
left.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you're
my
left.
left.
It's me.
It's Dawn and myself. Ken. So today on the
Ken,
show...
would you like to take a minute and wish me happy birthday since you didn't on my actual birthday?
No.
Huh?
Not really.
You wouldn't like to take a minute?
And screw you. I posted on your Facebook.
That's it. Ken, you and 178 other people posted on my Facebook.
Oh, did you break your arm patting yourself on the back?
I did.
That many
178 birthday wishes.
I was going to say, he just had to get that number.
Yeah,
you like that?
He was ready for that stat. The only stat that he can come up with is how many people on Facebook like them.
My sister and Saber were like, oh, I got more than that. And they went and checked, and they were like, I was like, oh, what'd you get? Nothing. I can't find it. I was like, what'd you get? 115. I was like, ha! 115.
I don't even think I broke like 60.
Yeah.
Because no, I'm not a good person.
But when one of your best friends doesn't even acknowledge your birthday, other than on Facebook, it hurts deeply.
I talked to you about... Oh, don't even start. And I talked to your wife about what to get you for your birthday.
Yeah.
I want to hear it from you.
Oh, well. Let's
I'm
not
in
let
a
it
bad mood.
Let's not let it derail the show.
Oh, it's going to.
It's already derailed.
All right, so today on the show, we're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows review. No spoilers, just a little overview of the situation.
But then we will give a few.
When?
Read your script in front of you. See? Spoilers.
Oh, okay. So we're going to do
Helps
both.
to review it.
All right.
I gave it to you Monday. I'm going to be so rough on you tonight. I'm going to ride you around this room all night long.
All right, then we're going to talk about DC Rebirth kickoff that happened last week. Then we're going to talk about some Marvel movie news, and then we're going to have a hashtag KFP Top 5.
KFP Top 5.
About our favorite female superheroes.
Yeah.
So since Dawn is such a chatty Cathy today and talking about things, do you want to go start us off with the Ninja Turtles review?
Sure, Ken.
All right.
Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows.
Yep.
Right?
Not in...
It was silly. It was goofy. I don't know. I mean, it's better than the first one.
Yes.
My kids loved it. It's entertaining. It's funny. You got to look past all the... If you're, like, worried about, like, things making actual sense, don't go see it, because it's not about that. But
Sorry.
What happened? They get a goal?
Yeah, Malkin just scored, so it's 2-1. 2-1.
Penguin game is going on right now, folks. There's going to be a lot of that going on.
Sorry. I apologize now, but I really don't.
Okay. So, yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was it wasn't super long, so, you can power through it. What about you, my little friend of sliced cheese?
Like Don said, it was silly. If you're looking for a serious, hardcore comic book movie, this isn't for you. This was a return to the 90s cartoon with the crazy, silly villains that didn't make sense and the henchmen. But it was fun. I laughed. It was all right. I don't know.
laughed, I cried. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
It was all right. I don't really have strong feelings for it either way.
He's not strongly engrossed in it.
Yeah.
How about you, Brock?
It was a fun movie. It was a nice breath of fresh air instead of worrying about who was going to die the whole movie. You never once thought that the Turtles were going to get in any kind of real trouble or anything like that. It was just a nice, have a good time, relax, enjoy the movie kind of thing.
How are they going to set up future movies?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was worth seeing.
Which, if box office results are any indication, there won't be any future movies.
Yeah, they'll probably make enough to break even enough to make it warrant a third one, don't you think?
I think so. I mean, it's going to be fine.
We'll sell toys.
The toys and, DVD sales. It's going to be, or not DVD, 8-track sales of the movie's going to go crazy. But it'll be fine. I think they'll make a third one. I mean, what do they have into it? Like, how much does the movie cost?
They're pretty expensive because of all the CGI. I don't know what the actual production budget
Well, while
was.
Brock talks, you should look it up there. Stats, man.
We'll do that.
Statman Carruthers.
Anything else there, Brock?
No, I think that, it was fun. It was worth seeing. Wasn't the best movie in the world, but it's a nice.
Definitely
turn your
wasn't the
brain
worst.
off and sit back and enjoy.
2-2.
You're wearing a tutu?
No, they just they just scored. It's now 2. We're missing the best hockey game ever doing this podcast. They've scored 4 goals in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Sorry. So Turtles, I thought was really good. I liked the special effects. I liked that they shrunk the turtles.
They
look
did
like,
shrink them a little
They
bit.
don't
Did
look
it
like
seem
giant
that?
hulks. But except for Raph's, I think stayed the same size, but everyone else got.
He
kind of
looked like a big Hulk.
He did.
Raph is way bigger than his
Yeah.
brothers.
So big.
Yeah.
He's bench pressing. Bench
Big.
pressing. He's a big dude. But they made Donatello real little.
Yeah,
He was real
Yeah, he
skinny.
slimmed him down and
frail. Yeah, it was.
pants on him.
Michelangelo's real small.
Donatello had suspenders and a
He
Super
did.
Nintendo.
He did. He had a
did.
Nintendo on his arm for some
Yeah.
reason.
So Statsman has found the information.
Okay.
Alright.
shoot.
Production budget $135 million, which is a lot less than I thought considering the amount of CGI they put in that.
Still a lot of
And they
money.
made that back already.
No. So far worldwide gross is $79 million.
Oh, okay.
I heard 90 today.
If that includes estimates for this coming weekend, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Opening weekend, it only made $35 million.
All right. You just feel like took the air right out of the place.
Well, it was. I liked it. I hope they make a third one because that was fun.
Well, and they set it up, and I didn't have strong feelings either way, but it was a return to the '90s cartoon, which I liked the '90s cartoon.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. So some spoilers now. Beware.
All right, so fast forward 10 minutes.
Fast forward 10 minutes. Things you liked. Spoiler-ish.
Brock, I feel like Brock is probably the person that knows the most about turtles.
He is a turtle master.
So I'm
Give
gonna
us
let
some
him go
things
first.
you liked. Some spoiler stuff.
I really liked Bebop and Rocksteady.
I agree
think they-
100%.
They were perfect. They were just like they were in the old cartoons, so they stuck to the source material. Didn't try and make them a serious villain or anything like that. They're just two goofballs who got this power all of a sudden,
And they loved it.
and they loved it, and they were, Actually, they were a little bit better than in the cartoon, I thought, because you actually thought they could do something because they were like hardened criminals. They were in maximum security prison being transferred.
Yeah, they weren't just like bank robbers. They were like
they weren't street
mean
thugs.
guys that killed people.
But yeah, that was cool. Krang was great.
Agreed.
I liked them.
The whole Dimension X tie-in was really, I
Cool.
thought that was cool. And like you guys have been saying, it set up a lot of future movies if they make enough money to.
If they can get there.
I think they will, because it's always going to. Ninja Turtles is going to be something that's going to be around forever. I think in some shape or form.
Yeah, they'll always do something.
Yeah.
It'll just keep changing ownership like it does every few years, and then someone else will reinvent it, and it's not going to go anywhere. But as far as the movie, I thought it was good. There was a lot going on at some points, like almost too much, like a lot of stuff. Like the fight scenes were kind of hard to follow.
A lot of just crazy jumping and flipping.
Like the airplane fight scene.
Yeah.
Where people were like floating as it went to zero gravity and like trying to catch this relic and it was all over the place.
Yeah.
And like Rocksteady was in a tank and shot the entire plane up and it just crashed and everyone was fine.
Yeah, everybody was fine. I don't know how they were just jumping out of planes and hitting planes and all that corny
And
stuff.
in the fight with Krang, there was a lot going on too.
Yeah. Or the
was.
moving parts. It's very disorienting in some scenes.
Yeah.
But when they built the Technodrome, it looked just like the cartoon
It did.
Technodrome.
It did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool looking. Even had the big eyeball on top of it,
Yeah.
and the cannons out the side. It just didn't have the tank treads.
Yeah, I did not
It was
think-
floating in midair.
Maybe it wasn't finished yet. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Less Megan Fox than the first one, which I think made it
Oh,
better.
I hate Les Megan Fox.
But it was a perfect amount of Megan Fox because he's like, well, let's just hit her greatest hits. We're gonna have her in a tight skirt.
Right off the beginning, they get her going. They get her in a skimpy outfit, schoolgirl outfit, tummy out, walking into high boots, and then they're done with it.
Yeah.
They got it right out of the way.
Can I tell you what I thought the worst part of this movie was?
We're not on the worst part yet. We're in the
I
good
think our
part.
worst parts are going to be the same,
I think it's
Let
just-
Justin give his favorite good
All
parts.
right.
which will probably be our worst part.
No, because I was there.
I like these parts will be like boring.
No, I liked that it was different from the first one, where the first one was like all Megan Fox with the turtle showing up for like 10 minutes of the Turtles movie.
Again, there's nothing wrong with all Megan Fox.
Not in a Turtles movie. If you want a Megan Fox movie, just have her make a movie.
All right, I want a Megan Fox movie.
But
Yeah, it's called Jonah Hex.
It's called Transformers.
It's called, what was that movie?
Jennifer's Body.
That's it.
Yeah.
yeah. But I liked that they concentrated on the team this time. It was like it's a return to the '90s cartoon that I liked.
I think they did a good job of
You
giving
like the
each,
90s cartoon.
each one of the turtles their own personality this
I
time.
did other breaking news. What would you say? We were doing two podcasts together. Sorry.
Each of the four turtles had their own personality
Yeah.
this time around instead of being a Michelangelo clone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michelangelo had such a weird falsetto voice.
He did. He did.
So strange. It was like a Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
surfer Michael Jackson thing.
See, I actually liked Raphael a lot more in this movie than I did the first movie. I thought the first movie they just were trying every 5 minutes to just make him angry and mean.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and he's the badass.
He
and
was
he's
way
crazy.
less brooding in this one.
He wasn't like he got like pissed, but then he'd be like, kind of like blow it off, and he was all right.
That goes back to the first movie because that all turned out to be like his coping mechanism for his own insecurities.
Yeah.
And then whenever he almost died, he let it all out, and now he's all right.
He was cool. I liked him. He was one of my favorite things in the movie. Mm-hmm. I liked the way he was. I liked all their individual personalities.
The way he was. I like the way he talks. Was it the I Like Bread and Butter song?
I don't know what you were singing over there. You're such an emotional roller coaster right now of up and downs.
I can't help it.
You'll be like, God damn it, they scored. Oh, wait, we tied it. God damn it, they scored. Oh, wait, we tied it.
We missed. This game's not going to go into 6 overtimes. Because that's all the scoring's going to happen.
That's all of it right there. But what else did I like from it? I liked Shredder.
Yeah.
I thought he was all right. He didn't have too much exposure in it, but he was cool because it was way less knives than it was the first movie. Yeah. Remember the first movie where he showed and he was like, shing, 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 and for like 10 minutes you're like, oh my God, quit popping knives out. And then, this one was just 2 knives on the hand.
Yeah.
You can be the Shredder with 2 to 4 knives. You know what I mean? You don't need 17, 18, 20,000 of them.
If your name's a Shredder and you don't have more than 4 knives.
Sorry, I couldn't get that out. I was trying to talk. But yeah, it was a little bit overkill in the first one, so he was fine. And then we'll move on to stuff you like. What about you? What'd you like?
I thought I already did this.
Well, you kind of were just jumping in, but do you have anything else to add? You're ready for what you didn't like.
I like Baxter Stockman. So.
Yeah, Tyler Perry was great.
Yeah, and the only thing I thought was funny is when they're trying to abduct him and put him in.
Away.
He's Tyler Perry's 6'3", so he's a huge guy, and they have 5'8", 5'7" henchmen trying, and he's laying stretched
on the ground. They're dragging him away.
There's no way these people.
You're gonna need at least 6 or 7 ninjas to drag Tyler Perry away. Come on.
And you're lucky he's not dressed like Medea because you might need double that.
Medea does turtles.
But so can I start what I didn't like?
Start what you didn't like, yeah.
Well, I didn't like TV Zone Stephen Amell in this movie.
Yeah, Stephen Amell was definitely the worst part of this
found
movie.
it in so
Unfortunately,
bad.
I have to agree.
He was just Stephen Amell the whole movie. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He was either
he was Arrow.
He was Arrow.
He wasn't even Arrow. He wasn't.
No, he's way cooler on Arrow than
he was Oliver Queen.
No,
he was like goofy Oliver Queen. He was like
because he was.
We already
whiny.
deemed that that's what it is, so we're moving on.
2 out of 4.
Why does he avoid eye contact when he's talking to other actors on screen?
He's
And
so
no matter,
goofy.
and it doesn't matter what role he's in. It's always bugged me about him. Just look at who you're talking to. It's so weird. I don't know.
I don't know.
He just was terrible. First of all, that's not Casey Jones.
No.
Casey Jones is like a street guy who lives in the streets.
Street guy. Lives on the streets,
Shut up, Ken. I'll kick that chair out right from underneath you. And but you know what I mean. He's a guy that looks like he's like a gangbanger himself. He's a little dirty.
Wasn't the cartoon he looks like a juggalo? He's got face paint.
Oh yeah, they make him different in there.
cartoon.
Remember in the old movie, he was
He was homeless.
he was like a homeless dude. He was fighting crime. This one, he was like a police officer who drives
he wasn't even a
Challenger. And,
but he wasn't even a police officer. He was a corrections officer.
yeah.
He was trying to be a detective. Though.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a detective.
But he wasn't going to be good enough to be a detective.
And where'd you get on a cop salary? On a security guard salary, you're driving that car?
Stephen Amell brought all the parts of Transformers over to the TMNT.
Well, that was probably Michael Bay who was like, we'll make Steven, he's like a security guard. And then he drives away in his own car. Oh, we'll just use this Buick Skylark, this 86 Skylark over here. No, give him a Charger with rimmed up wheels and tinted windows. And all right, Michael, get out of here. Get out of the room. You're getting too crazy. You give it big engines on it and and then it turns into a Decepticon. Calm down. You're in the wrong movie. Crossover.
Oh, it's
that might happen.
How about he did get the little guy dressed as the little bumblebee?
Yeah,
in the parade.
That's a great costume.
Yeah.
That was a good costume. That was funny.
But yeah, the car chase through New York where they're trying to get Megan Fox and TV's on Stephen Amell to this where they need to go in the ending.
Yeah.
It was the ending of Transformers 1 where they're just driving Bumblebee and Megan Fox and somebody
it's
else
the same thing.
to where they need to go.
And then when he gets the rollerblades out of the desk chair.
It's not even rollerblades.
Yeah,
they're
he
the
duct
file.
taped something to his shoes,
and they become rollerblades.
So weird.
And he's skating real good. It turned into a hockey movie. It turned into Slapshot at the end.
It would have been great if he taped those to his feet and he went to go and like run from Bebop and Rocksteady,
And he just fell.
twisted his ankle and they ate him.
And the plan was so dumb. I'm going to skate with this metal stick,
That's
steal a
shaped like-
grenade. You go into the little thing, you and your guy, and then I throw the hockey puck, which is a grenade in there, and it blows up. And then you two aren't even dead. They just go, "My man," or whatever.
Yeah, because they've been blown up. Like
I don't know. I didn't really get what was going on in that scene.
Yeah.
They couldn't beat Little Stephen Amell.
Well, they're like, we need to have the turtles with Krang for the ending, but we need to get rid of these two somehow. So TV's own Stephen Amell.
And he only wears the hockey mask for what, 5 seconds?
only to protect his face from a ninja star.
Yeah. I would like to see him actually use sports equipment other than the hockey reference. You know,
Yeah.
like he wasn't a vigilante.
But hold
That's
on,
the
he
thing.
wanted to be. He was a corrective officer.
officer. He's a corrections officer. And
He was a corrections officer who says to Megan Fox at one point in time, it's either hockey or vigilante. So is he going to be a corrections officer, detective, vigilante, or
Yes.
a corrective officer, detective?
he's going to be an idiot. Hopefully he's not in the next movie.
I doubt he will be.
He was terrible.
Save some money.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
terrible.
I don't know.
What else was terrible from that side of the table?
I didn't like Shredder. I thought his
Huh!
I thought his look was fine, but he didn't do it. He walked around and ordered people around.
He had
didn't fight
spikes.
one
He was
time.
the leader of the Foot Clan. He didn't need to fight.
He didn't fight one time.
He's the leader.
Yeah, they didn't make him fight, which was bad.
He did go out like a chump too.
Well, he got
Yeah.
frozen. That was his. A
And
giant
Carbonite.
brain and a robot froze him and put him next to a Triceratops.
A piece of chewed bubble gum, as they called him. Oh well. Anything else? Can we wrap this movie review up? You got anything else you didn't like?
No, I think I'm good.
Was there credits? No, it wasn't a credits.
No.
No, we sat through
stayed,
the
though.
stupid credits for nothing.
Okay. Then yeah,
Thanks a lot, Marvel.
ruined us. But there was an end scene credit for like one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies I saw, the newest one of those. So it's just
There was an end scene credit in Adventures of Babysitting back in 1986.
Disney.
Disney
Sons of bitches.
strikes again.
No, seriously, Disney, don't sue us or make us
Yeah,
take
we're
this
sorry.
down.
Like they're listening.
You never know.
Hey, our mask thing got pulled down.
It did. But anyway, yeah, it was a good movie. Go check it out. You'll like it. It's fun for your kids. All right. Next on the list.
DC Rebirth kickoff. So
For you, those of you who don't know, this is a comic book. No, this isn't a TV show.
no.
Right, this is we're going as nerdy as you could possibly get here.
All right, so the setup is
Go ahead.
there's multiple universes in the DC universe. The last comic book universe was called, they relaunched DC 5 years ago.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
something like
About
that.
5 or 6 years ago. Called it the New 52. They were kind of updating characters, making them more hip, current to the times, whatever. Accessible.
They made it so they only were in existence for 5 years.
Yes.
It wasn't all 75 years of Superman. It was just
Yeah.
5 years of a superhero.
But they left off. They did a lot of things wrong when they did it because the people didn't understand what was in canon, what wasn't, what stories did they cut out, which ones did they. 5 years is a long period of time, especially
For
characters-
instance, there was Batman. Don't throw your pen. There's Batman, who's only been around for 5 years, but he had 4 Robins.
Yes.
Case in point, instead of being around for 75 years.
Or case in point, Batgirl was paralyzed and was shot in the back by Joker, but then she was able to walk again
And was Batgirl again.
and Batgirl again.
Okay.
So there you have it. But so what they decided to do this year is get rid of the DC New 52, and they're going to do a Rebirth. Rebirth title in DC Comics has a lot of weight. Jeff Johns, the writer, did a Rebirth on Green Lantern that was hugely successful. Same thing with Flash. And did he do it with Aquaman too when he was writing it? I think it was just those two.
Yeah, it was just those two. Then he did the relaunch of Aquaman and made him cool.
Yeah. So they basically used the Rebirth title because everyone that read comic books in DC always picked the Rebirth title is their favorite for those two characters. So they decided to use it for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Now in the book, they realized that someone has been manipulating the universes.
In Rebirth #1.
Rebirth #1.
On sale at your local comic store.
Well, if
Sold
they
out.
have
If
it.
they still have it. Sold out everywhere.
I sold out of a lot of copies that I didn't think.
Okay.
The comic shop that I work at ordered the most out of all the other shops that are part of our group.
So everybody here read Rebirth correctly?
Yes.
Correct. No, I read it incorrectly. I started from the back and I read it from the front.
Oh, I wish I could stab you in the groin with this pen. So the big surprise of Rebirth, which we're going straight for. Well, we won't ruin that yet. What we'll say is it doesn't seem like they're going to wipe out the New 52 as much as they're letting you know that somebody, we won't reveal yet, behind the scenes took away all that time.
Yeah, someone is watching them, and there's a lot of things that the people in the New 52 don't remember.
Because time was taken away.
Time was taken away from them.
And realities were warped. So they brought back the original Superman, pre-New 52 Superman, who's been living there with a kid, with the real Lois.
So before they did this New 52, there was Superman. And when they did New 52, they did a new Superman. And at that time, the old Superman, instead of switching over to this new attitude, new look, whatever, they wrote it
with his pants off.
With his pants off. They wrote that he kind of went into seclusion and...
Because he felt like he was on another universe.
He thought he was on another universe, and he saw that there was already a Superman, so he figured... he could then have a life with the person he loved and raise a child.
Right.
Yeah, so then whenever stuff happens... Oh, are we spoiling this?
Yeah, we'll spoil it, because Superman, New 52 Superman dies. And then he decides to come out and become Superman again.
Yeah, because the world needs a Superman.
But the big story during it all is through Wally West's eyes. Wally West is the guy who took over for Barry Allen as the Flash. If you watch TV shows, portrayed by... What's the character? Oh, we don't know. The young black kid in there is playing Wally West. But you realize that Wally didn't exist in the New 52, this Wally West. So they brought him back, and he's like trying to get people to remember him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the way they brought him back was he was stuck in the Speed Force.
He was stuck in between time.
And I think what I got out of it was that he spent the entire time of the New 52 universe stuck in the Speed Force.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So trying to find a way out. And then he uses his connection with Barry to help get him out.
Well, but he tries other people first.
Yeah, he goes around. It's kind of cool. He goes through the book trying to find different people. He talks to his wife. She don't remember him.
Talks to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, talks to Batman, Johnny Thunder, which I thought that was cool scene because of the JSA.
Yeah, I think that means they're bringing them back.
And then finally, I thought the scene with him and Wally was one of the best moments in comics I've read in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not to cut that short, but like Brock was saying, they're bringing back the JSA. They also show what is it, Jupiter Girl?
Saturn Girl.
And the
Legion of Superheroes.
But they're in current time, so they might be lost and be somewhere in this as well.
Right.
Because they show Legion Ring.
Yeah, they show Legion Ring. And then the JSA, who's the Justice Society of America, my favorite team, their Johnny Thunder is trying to find them.
Johnny Thunder is like...
Johnny Thunder had the Thunderbolt. It was a genie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would click the pen, and then he would come out of there, and he's been looking for them because he threw the Thunderbolt away. Remember, he says in the book, "I'm sorry I threw you away," and Wally's telling him to go find him. So hopefully they're coming back. Maybe in a Rebirth second wave.
Did they ever show up in the New 52 at all?
The only time they showed up in New 52 was Earth 2 version of them,
so
which
that's
was
not even really them.
That's when they took Alan Scott, made him gay, and made him young.
Just to make him gay and young.
Yeah, just to make him gay for one episode. That's all they ever really touched on it. And then
you could see. Don't get me started on that.
Well, you could tell from that episode that he originally was supposed to be a woman, and then he was supposed to be in love with a woman.
His fiancée was supposed to be a woman.
His fiancée was a woman, and it was a very brief scene. She dies, and it makes him become Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And then to get ratings or to get reviews and people talking, they changed the character out, put a dude in there, and they were like...
Because then we had to redraw 3 panels.
Yeah, and all he ever said was my fiance. He never said the name or anybody, so they didn't have to rewrite anything, and they put a guy in there, and it was, Green Lantern's gay, and everybody was all up in arms, and it got all this attention. It was on E! It was on Good Morning America.
And it had nothing to do with the story.
And then the next book, they never mentioned him having anybody else again. They never mentioned him being gay.
Yeah.
They never do anything else with it, so it was total bullshit.
Total marketing.
But anyway, that Earth 2 to me was never a JSA. It was just crap. That's all I ever thought about.
It was just Earth 2.
Yeah. So hopefully they come back. But so we'll let you talk about the big surprise then at the end of the book.
So, well, to lead up, before the big reveal that ties into the big reveal, they're starting
What's the other big reveal?
Well, there's 2, really. No, because there is someone going around killing people that have connections to time and different realities.
Right.
Pandora's Box was always kind of tied into the New 52. She was in every issue of number 1 of the 52.
Yeah.
Because partly opening Pandora's Box caused a lot of issues.
Yeah.
she gets
Her
killed.
name was Pandora.
And she opened her box.
Yeah.
Hey, don't know.
Yeah.
So, and the way she's killed looks very reminiscent of another comic book image that I'll go into in a minute.
Okay.
And then you start, in other issues, you start seeing other people that have infinite knowledge or knowledge of other time streams also getting killed, like in Justice League 50.
Yeah.
Was it Owlman?
Owlman and
Metron.
Metron.
Metron get killed off the Metron chair.
Mobius chair.
Mobius chair, sorry. Because all these people have infinite knowledge. And all their deaths are by a blue flash. And then Bruce Wayne sees something in the Batcave. He goes over and digs it out. And he finds out it's the comedian's smiley face pin from The Watchmen.
Okay.
So he says that they're being watched. Now, the blue flashes in the last 3 pages of Rebirth go to Mars, very reminiscent of panels from the Watchmen comics.
Now, for people who don't know Watchmen, tell us what it was.
Watchmen was by Alan Moore and David Gibbons in 85.
Yeah.
Right.
It was in its time period. It was a book about superheroes that had to deal with the consequences of the Cold War because, they had to find a reason to bring all of humanity together because they were slowly killing themselves through nuclear war.
And none of them had superpowers except Dr. Manhattan.
Yes, correct.
He was it was mostly just costume vigilantes.
In tech.
Yeah.
Intelligence in certain ways, whatever. But yeah, that's exactly what it was. So Dr. Manhattan, it was created through some form of...
They made a movie of it in 2009.
And other than what causes the destruction at the end of the movie, it's pretty much spot on to the book. And I recommend
it's a good
it.
movie. It's rated R. It's not for kids, but it's a good movie.
A lot of blue dong in it.
Yeah. Now, the Watchmen haven't been a part of the DC universe ever.
DC put it out. They own the rights, but Alan Moore never wanted it tied in. There's a lot of similarities between characters, but that's like
Night Owl looks like Batman.
Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah. And Dr. Manhattan's supposed to be a ripoff of Captain Atom.
Rorschach is the question.
Yeah. Silk Spectre is... I forget her name now.
Black Canary?
Close, but not. Well, yeah, it was probably Black Canary before she got her powers.
Okay.
So that's what it is. And Rebirth is pretty much saying that there's someone overseeing this time stream that's taking time away.
And then it's Dr. Manhattan.
And all fingers are pointing to Dr. Manhattan. I don't think it's that easy. I think it's something that he's trying to protect this group of people from.
He's probably going to turn out being the hero in this.
Yes.
I think.
You don't think he's killing all these people off?
I don't think that you can do that. Because why would it be that easy to be like, oh, it sucks? And then how would you beat him? There's got to be something that he's protecting these people from of a greater knowledge.
I don't know.
He could be building his team to combat
something else.
This greater power kind of
Or
thing.
if he's dealing with infinite time streams, there could be another Dr. Manhattan.
An evil one.
Or if was his name, what's John Osterman is Dr. Manhattan's real name. If somehow they split, like he could have multiple personalities. Like
because they introduced that character in the Superman book named Mr. Oz.
Mr. Oz. He looks like
Mr. Oz could be, and I don't want to say the name wrong because Lance will correct me again.
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias.
I don't think it's him.
You don't think it's him?
No. I think it's the wizard Shazam. They're using the Oz as like the guy behind the curtain.
You think it's Shazam? It didn't look like an old guy, though.
No, but it didn't look like Ozymandias either.
Well, they didn't show his hair, though. They just showed the face.
Wasn't he bald?
No, he had a strand of hair.
He looked like a Grim
okay.
Reaper. He had like a
Okay.
size.
They didn't really show much of him.
No.
I just wonder if it might be like him against Dr. Manhattan. He's going to try, because he was like helping Superman.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe he's trying to help get them tough enough to take him on.
But wasn't
You're allowed to talk. You haven't said shit in about 10 minutes.
because I don't have the history, the book, but from the movie.
You're pretty much spot on.
Wasn't Ozymandias? Wasn't his name Adrian?
Yes,
His
Adrian
first name.
White.
So it was either the last panel or the second to last
Where
panel
he said Adrian.
where it shows what we think is Dr. Manhattan.
That was just a page right out of Watchmen.
Okay.
Where they're having that conversation.
It's actually, I think, out of Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan #4.
Is that what it is?
Because that's
I
that.
did read
Because
this.
he
That's
seems
the same
to be
conversation.
Yeah,
they're having.
and not to sidetrack it, that book jumped up ridiculous. It was $1 book at some comic book stores, and then now it's going for like $30 to $40.
Yeah.
I think I bought all this. I never read them.
But he makes that comment. Adrian, I'm not sure. Did I do the right thing? So it kind of sounds like they're working kind of reluctantly together, maybe.
Maybe.
Because that was the whole thing with the movie and the graphic novel was Adrian, he wanted to help, but he just wanted, as most villains do, he thinks he's doing the right thing,
Right.
but it was the wrong way to do it.
I beg to differ. I think that his train of thought in the graphic novel was what was able to stop the Cold War from happening, because he created a threat,
Blew up New York City.
and instead of multiple countries going to waste, the population of the largest city, of course, had to go. But in the long run, it brought the whole world together.
He gave the theory, which a lot of people have talked about before, that human beings will always fight with each other unless they have something common to fight with. They always need something to fight against.
Yeah.
So he gave them a fake alien threat. In the movie, it's Dr. Manhattan they're against, but in the comics, it's a giant, eyeball alien.
It's like a giant vagina tentacle
Yeah.
plant. It's so weird.
And
thank God, and everyone was bitching about the movie that
Thank
they
God
switched
they
it.
did it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is so weird, because then that's where what's his name, Alan Moore starts his weird shit coming through.
Yeah.
Weird vagina plant monsters.
So it's that thing of you give human beings something to fight. They have to
unite.
They got to be fighting though. They
Yeah.
got to be fighting something, and the hate has to be centered on something. So they hate the alien. They hate Dr. Manhattan. Russia and the U.S. don't want to blow each other up. They have a common goal.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like true in real life.
Yeah.
So it works, and Dr. Manhattan agrees to it, and then he kills Rorschach because Rorschach wants no part
was
of it.
going to go and tell the
Well, yeah, because
real
Rorschach
story.
realized that he was going to do something wrong, because he thought that, there's always the hero that thinks the will of man's going to be smarter than that, but sometimes it doesn't happen.
And you also remember in that book, Dr. Manhattan got kind of tired of people altogether.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It
why I
wasn't-
moved to Mars.
That's why he moved to Mars, but he only came back for Silk Spectre because he saw she was upset about finding out about her dad and all that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really care about humans. So that's why I don't think this is out of his range to be. To him, it's not a villain. He's just playing around with things.
Well, yeah, I agree to an extent, but that could also be where this can be very comic centric, but whenever there's a character in the Marvel Universe called Sentry who gets into a split personality, controls molecules, and for every good thing he does, you feel like the evil side of him,
The Void.
the Void, comes out and does evil.
Bad. Right.
I feel like they might go a similar direction where he might realize he has a human side, but because of the controlling of the molecular form, he's actually going to split into two separate people.
Or they could actually go a route where someone has his power. Like maybe Ozymandias steals his power. He tried to replicate his power and stuff like that.
He tried to use the same experiment to destroy Dr. Manhattan because he didn't think he'd be on his side to have the alien tentacle.
It does
porn.
seem like in that book that whoever this Mr. Oz is really trying to push the original Superman into being Superman again for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But Dr. Oz, Mr.
Dr.
Oz.
Oz, that's what you kept telling. You're like, there's this character named Dr. Oz. I was like, from the TV show?
TV's own Dr. Oz shows up to give him
TV's
horrible
own.
vitamin advice. No, there's also characters that they've been showing in future solicitations of comic books that are a mystery couple that's in Gotham hanging out. And they're like, that's not for us yet. It's not our time.
Yeah.
People are speculating that may be
Night Owl and Silk Spectre.
Night Owl and Silk Spectre.
Yeah.
There's now been revealed there's 3 different Jokers.
Yeah.
One of them could be a possible different
Comedian.
comedian. And who else are we missing? And Rorschach, nowhere to be seen yet. There's no parallels to him. And if he showed up in the Marvel Universe as just Rorschach,
If he shows up at the Marvel Universe,
I
it's
mean
gonna
the
be
DC
more
universe.
crazy.
Well, it depends on when this all takes
well,
place, because
that's-
those guys would all be dead.
Yeah, that was my question, because the comedian's dead, Rorschach's dead.
Well,
It depends. It depends.
If they're messing with
Manhattan can pull
time,
them out of the time stream at any time.
yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean? He can do anything.
you two
This is
babble
why I
on
hate-
for out. Oh, don't even
That's
say
why I
that.
hate time travel.
You just went on last week about
I know.
how Flash was great and there's paradox people and fighting in the Speed Force. This is actually interesting. So
So with Rebirth, there talking about it. What titles do you think you look forward to read that are coming out? What are you going to read? What about you? What do you pick?
as a non-comic guy, yeah.
As I'm trying to get myself into being comic guy, because this
Well, don't steal him on the interwebs. There's a start.
He purchased some tonight.
He did.
So I got for this week I got Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Flash.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna read Titan, the Wally West title.
Real quick, I want to explain too. With this launch, everything is starting over with the #1 book. It's like a preview book, and that's what we have out this week.
Yeah.
And last week, and then it's going to kick into a new series, everything from #1. So it's like a fresh start. and the other Rebirth book is like a backstory.
Yeah, the Rebirth ones are kind of like a get you caught up real quick things. I read the ones that came out last week, and I hadn't read any of the stuff in like 2 years, the DC stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was just nice because now I feel like I'm caught up.
There wasn't much to the Rebirth books.
No, it was just like, here's where we're at.
This is perfect for if anyone listening to this that wants to get into comics, but they feel like it's too much. This is the time. This is what they're doing. You go in and you go to your local shop, buy Rebirth, or buy it online on the digital site, and you're going to get caught up. I'm sorry, go ahead, Justin.
So, last week I read Superman, and I need to catch up on Batman because that was sold out when I went to buy it.
Not much really happened in that.
And I'm gonna read the main titles. I don't think I'm gonna read the team up ones, but I'm gonna read a lot of the main titles. I love Nightwing, so I'm gonna read the Nightwing book.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still a Nightwing book?
Yeah, it's coming back. It was Grayson for a while, but with this, it's going back to Nightwing.
I'm gonna read Green Arrow. Like I said, I think this week I got Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Flash. So I looked through. There's 6 or 7 titles I'm gonna try and start picking up regularly, and then depending on what the storylines in those are, I might branch out into some of the team books if the story looks good. So.
Cool, awesome. So Brock, you have a big sub. You get a lot of stuff.
He has a big what?
Yeah,
subscription. So is there anything you're looking forward to reading?
I'm going to check out all the first issues, I think, and just see what sticks, see where they're going with everything, give it all of them a shot.
Donald?
I'm going to read, I don't know, I was trying to think of something funny to say, and I had nothing. Fell right on my face. I am actually going to start reading more DC books than Marvel, because I think Marvel books suck right now.
I never agreed with you before like this, but I agree. Well, I've
always been a Marvel guy. You know me. I've always read way more Marvel than DC, and Captain America's a Hydra agent. I want nothing to do with it right now.
Yeah.
I'd much rather read Superman, which is had a very interesting rebirth. Action number 1 was really good. I mean, you know, they're all good, solid stories with exciting things happening instead of let's just do Civil War number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the same story of more superheroes fighting each other because all Marvel does now is whatever their movies are doing, we have to emulate it in the book.
Yeah.
See, I was a former DC guy that got out of comics almost completely because the New 52 was just so...
That's what killed all my DC, yeah.
I couldn't tell. Did what I read 10 years ago matter? Or 5
the only one I
years ago?
stuck with was Justice League all the way through. I read the first 13 of Batman, then dropped it, and then everything else had dropped.
But this is definitely drawing me back. My interest is peaked because the stuff that's happening now is the stuff that was going on when it pre-New 52 that I was enjoying that they ended. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, we're getting this stuff back that was actually good.
I'll tell you how good it is. I buy comics every week. I have on my nightstand, I think, of those like extraordinary X-Men books, that title that's in there right now, an all new X-Men. I think I have 6 of them from the past 6 months that I haven't even read yet. Because I just am like, I just don't feel like reading this. And I don't know why I'm buying it. All the Rebirth books, like I said, I bought them yesterday. I read them all as soon as I got home.
Yeah. Because there's, I don't know, is someone that sees both sides of it, it's something exciting because it's something new. And there's new possibilities. And there's a way to get rid of the staleness that was happening before in 52.
Marvel just tried that with all they just launched all their new books too.
But I don't think they tried it. I think
they do it too often.
They were all bad.
Every year it seems like everything gets a new number 1 at Marvel.
Yeah, they've already announced that they're doing it again in the fall.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
It seems like every September everything at Marvel gets reset. The numbering at least.
Yeah,
and their chief editor-in-chief said this is the nature of the business we're in right now. We expect people want new number 1s, so they're doing new number 1s again in the fall.
Do they remember the 90s when they went bankrupt for doing the same exact thing?
Unfortunately, I have to agree with them because the distributor shows that like when people will buy anything that has a number 1 printed on it. Mm-hmm. And if it's good or bad, like people just buy it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's too much in Marvel though.
Oh, I agree, and it's going to turn around and bite them because then people aren't going to care anymore.
Yeah.
But let's just say this about the new DC Rebirth is the price point has dropped back down to $2.99. They're going to come out more often, but still, it didn't seem like there was any less content. It seemed like it was still a 22-page book. I didn't count them, but still for $2.99, that's almost $2 less than Marvel's selling their books for.
The Rebirth book seemed a little heavy with advertising.
Yeah, there's some ads in there, but yeah, they'll clean those up.
Yeah. But
all right.
So we talked about titles we were interested in. So now let's go into some Marvel movie news.
Well, it's mostly just comic book movie news because there's one's Marvel.
Well, then you should probably mark that on the agenda.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm such a stupid idiot.
God. You big goober.
Just so you know, 40 minutes in, no one's sworn yet, so we're keeping it nice and clean.
Oh, wow. We can
Don't
actually...
swear. No editing for Justin. Because we were a mess last week.
It was. There
It was
a
a
lot.
mess. All right, moving on. Next topic.
I really thought we were going to try this. All right,
So, the big announcement this week was they're going to cast a Superman on the Supergirl show now that's moving to the CW.
the WWW.
WC, which I didn't think they were going to have him on the show. I thought we talked last week. We thought they were just going to kind of blurb him out of continuum with whatever goes on, but he's apparently going to be on.
I think they're going to kill him.
Do you?
I think that they're because isn't the first episode of all these shows when they come back going to be Flashpoint?
Well, but they haven't confirmed that yet.
Yeah, they haven't confirmed that.
I've confirmed right here. You've heard it here first.
The reason I think I read an article today that talked about it.
You did.
The reason
What screen was that on?
I was at work today.
Okay.
Only had 6 screens, Ken.
2 screens at work. And they were talking about, which I completely forgot about, in the final episode of Supergirl last season,
Yeah.
a pod that looks like either her pod or Superman's pod just shows up. And they open it and they don't reveal who's inside, but she's freaking out. And so they think that this pod is going to have something to do with why she brings Superman in instead of just chatting with him on AOL Instant Messenger.
They open up the pod and it's TV's own Stephen Amell. It's like, hey, kids.
There were some.
Do you know the first time you said TV Zone, I thought you said TV Zone? And I was like, what's TV Zone Stephen Amell? Is that a show he was on or something I don't know about? It took me a while to catch on that you were saying TV Zone. But I think it's going to be Tom Welling
That'd be great.
from Smallville.
Oh, okay.
I think that'd be cool.
I think there's so many people begging for that they're not going to do it just to
But it makes
spite
sense in that
people.
show because that's all they've used. They used
Old Superman.
they used old Lois and Clark Superman as her dad. They used Supergirl, the original Supergirl.
Tell me,
as her
Dean
mom.
Cain was her dad?
Dean
Yeah.
Kane's her dad, and the
Dean
Supergirl
Cain?
the Supergirl from the movie, that horrible movie in the 80s, is her mom. It's him and Dean Cain are her mom and dad.
Dean Cain.
And then they have all kind of references from Superman shows. You should dig up Christopher Reeve. Oh, too soon
That was harsh.
as her grandfather. But I think Tom Welling would be great. Give the fans what they want. What's he doing that ain't gonna do it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He's actually living in Kansas on the farm.
He would love it.
He's literally living in Smallville. But, all right, so...
Or they can't. Well, I was saying they could do Brandon Roth, but he's already on these
Yeah,
shows.
that's in
as
that same universe.
same universe as the Atom.
That'd be great.
He played Superman
I'm just
and
tricking
the Atom.
you guys.
I'm really Superman.
But I'm really Iron Man. Nope, giant. Never mind.
I don't know who I am.
So we'll see. Anybody you think would be good as it?
Chevy Chase.
I intentionally said it, hoping for a great answer.
That was a pretty good one.
Now I got to make an image of Chevy Chase in a Superman outfit. Should I use fat, old, crazy Chevy
Yes.
Chase too?
Well, yeah, you want to use young Svelte Chevy Chase.
Young Svelte.
No, you got to use
Fletch?
Fletch, yeah.
No, Fletch is a great movie. That's not...
No, did you see him in the new Vacation Chevy Chase? What he looks like?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's
He didn't
terrifying.
age well.
He did not age well. He came out of that house, and I was like, "Whoa! Oh my God! What happened to you?" He's a lunatic.
Nicolas Cage. He didn't get his shot was taken away from him. He could be a good
He'll do
Superman.
anything if you give him a hot dog and 75 cents.
That's true.
All right.
All right. So the Marvel movie news is what?
There's no Marvel movie news. There might be a rumor that Brie Larson will be Captain Marvel
Yeah.
when Carol Danvers.
Which I don't like.
I don't mind her.
I don't think she's hot enough to play Captain Marvel. I
Why?
don't think she's a good enough actress. I don't think she's cool.
She
Have you
just
seen her?
won an Oscar, dude. She's a good actress.
Actress winning an Oscar is crap to me because they give those out to anybody.
Did you win Best Actress? Your actress award is shit.
Doesn't mean anything.
Give those out there. They give 2 actress awards per year.
There's a difference between someone that may be like a really good actress that can be in that movie than being in one of these movies. It doesn't work.
Why?
Because it just doesn't work.
You're full of shit.
You have to have a good...
Look at who Marvel has been casting in their movies lately.
Okay.
All they're going for is talent.
All they're going for is talent?
Not your type of talent, actual acting talent.
Acting talent.
So when they cast Chris Hemsworth, it was just because of his raw acting ability.
I said
not because
lately.
he looked exactly like
I
Thor.
said lately, not in the initial.
Right?
Look at all their new
when they cast
casting.
Chris Evans, it was on acting talent alone, or was it because he got huge and buff and he looked exactly like Captain America?
Have you seen him as the Human Torch? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Go ahead. What's your point?
I said lately.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't. What did she win an Best Actress for?
The Room.
Well, I've never seen that movie, so I can't.
No.
But anything I've ever seen her in before,
She's an
I wasn't
incredible
like,
actress.
wow, she's incredible. She's to be Captain Marvel.
What was the movie you saw her in then?
I saw her in.
I don't think I saw her in anything.
I'll bring up Internet Movie Database and tell you. I can't remember. I'm familiar with her, but I just not a.
I think you're familiar with one picture of her.
I'm not a fan.
All right.
I don't like it as I don't like her as Captain Marvel. She's not. If you would have went down your list as casting Captain Marvel, would she have made your top 10?
Probably not.
Probably. And there you go. That's why she shouldn't be Captain Marvel.
Well, you know what? Chris Hemsworth wouldn't be in my top 10 to be Thor, but he's a great Thor.
Well, that's because we
Chris
didn't know
Evans.
him.
Well,
He was
exactly.
an unknown.
Maybe that's no more
thing.
than you about this
But,
situation.
but that's the
How
thing.
about you stop stepping on my foot too?
I didn't know him. If I would have known him, we know who Brie
You
Larson
obviously
is.
you don't know her. You don't.
You know.
What do you mean I don't know her? I knew who she was.
You just said you've never seen her in a movie.
I didn't say I never saw her in a movie. I said I've
What'd
seen
you
her
see
in
her in?
movies.
He has to look up.
I have to look it up. I can't remember, Justin.
Admit, just give her a chance.
Why? Why am I not allowed to not like her? I mean,
Because you're gonna hurt her feelings.
look at her. Does she look like Captain Marvel to you?
I don't know.
She was in 21 Jump Street. I saw that.
What was she in 21 Jump Street?
She was in Trainwreck. I remember her in that movie. She was in, let's see, Dawn John. I remember her in that movie. Saw that movie.
Juan. It's Don John.
It's Dawn John, you dickhead. That's the name of the movie, see? It's not Don Juan, it's Dawn John.
Okay, calm down.
See? You're trying to make fun of me and being that guy?
That guy.
Let's see what else I saw. Oh, she was on The League. She played his girlfriend from the first season. You don't remember her on that?
No, I don't
Yes.
remember.
So, yeah, she's been in a ton of shit that we've seen her in. She was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I know she was.
Envy.
Yeah,
she's
I
in the
remember her
Adams.
in that, too. Yeah.
She was good in that movie.
Yeah, she was fine in that movie. But, yeah, you act like I haven't seen her in a bunch of movies. She's been in a ton of movies. There's a lot of swearing that took off in this episode.
Because you're heated.
I am.
The funny thing is, the deal's not done yet, and IMDb already has her listed as Carol Danvers.
Of course it's done, because of course they're going to cast her as it. This is just what they're doing they're getting the feeler out there to see what everybody's reaction's going to be.
I'm alright with it. I don't judge this stuff until I see him in the movie.
Well, then what's the point of having any opinion? Why do we even have a podcast where we talk about this stuff if you don't want to have any opinion on it? I'm okay with everything.
Because
they cast I can't even think of anybody to say someone old as her. That's fine. It'll be fine.
But from Marvel movies so far, have they gotten any casting really wrong yet?
Okay, let me think. I didn't like Jessica Jones casting. Even though I liked the show, I went with her. I wish they would have went with somebody else. I thought she was too brooding and too goofy looking.
See,
to
I
be
like-
I
her.
can somewhat
liked
agree
her
with that,
if
but I
you-
also think that makes her the character she is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that Jessica Jones doesn't strike me as that. And from when I read her, I don't know. Let's see. Let's go through the movies. Okay?
All right, so we'll go in order of release.
Iron Man.
I didn't like Pepper Potts casting. I thought she was horrible. What are you so excited about?
Just a game stat.
I didn't like Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts. I thought she was horrible.
She was great, Pepper Potts.
What? Based on what makes her a great Pepper Potts? She's
The
uglier
chemistry-
than hell.
The chemistry between her and Robert Downey Jr. was fantastic.
How was it fantastic? Did you think the chemistry between them was fantastic?
I thought it was enough to not make me
I don't
realize
know.
they
I
were
just don't like her.
We have a lot more to go through. Can we just?
Yeah, we'll just wrap it up. I just didn't like her. Let me see.
I feel like we could have a whole.
Honestly, there's not a lot of females in the. I mean, Black.
It doesn't have
Widow-
to be just female. It can be any casting.
I didn't like Gamora's casting. I didn't like that.
I think Salad.
I didn't really like her.
Zoe Saldana.
I thought she was the worst one out of
Zoe-
everybody in that movie.
Caesar salad.
Out of every Guardian of the Galaxy, I thought she was the worst cast one. Batista was great as, what's his name? The voice of Rocket was great. Groot was whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So if you look at that, she's 5 out of a list of 5 good castings.
Yeah, no, I didn't really like her. I'm just trying to think of other female lead characters.
I still think you like female.
I didn't like
characters.
Evangeline Lilly and Ant-Man. I thought she was very flat and very boring. I think
her character was written that way, though.
Well,
I think that was writing. It wasn't her fault.
I don't really care for her too much as an actress. I don't know.
What has she been in?
Lost. That was really it. What other females are there in any of these movies?
It doesn't have to just be females, Don. We said
I thought we were going for females.
No,
you've just been picking on every female.
What about Sif?
She was fine.
I mean, does her character even count? Like, you could put anyone in that role.
The main casting roles they have gotten right so far. I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. I don't know. We'll get that when we cross it. Main casting roles they've gotten everybody right.
This is another main casting.
I guess I
trust in Marvel's casting.
All right.
All right. So let's skip.
I wanted somebody a little better. I don't know.
Well, say who you wanted, because we all.
I don't know. You want me to be piggish about it? I want someone that looks hotter in spandex than Brie Larson. Because to me, Captain Marvel is really one of the top Marvel chicks in the universe. I wanted someone a little bit more curvy and a little bit more shapely, like Scarlett Johansson is, who looks great in that Black Widow outfit.
She does.
Brie Larson isn't going to be turning any heads in the Captain Marvel outfit.
You'd be surprised.
But I feel like the characters are different because the
If it was Ms.
I know
Marvel.
that's sexist.
No. I understand what you're saying because if you right now get on your computer and Google Frank Cho Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
you're going to see a great Miss Marvel drawing.
Yeah.
But now I feel like the characters change from that. I feel like the character that they're casting isn't Miss Marvel from that time period. They're going to cast Soldier Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That's going to have the leather suit with the mask.
And I guess that being said, I wanted somebody older and more mature then.
I think they're going to
Who's like who would be like a captain in the military.
I can understand that then.
That's why I thought what's her name was a good perfect fit.
Katie
Starbuck?
Katie Sackhoff.
Is that her name? I never saw Battlestar Galactica.
I forget what her, but
I don't know
she
what
is
her character's
sexy.
name, but that's
She's
her.
built fantastic. She's tough. If you see her in Riddick, she's a badass in that movie.
The movie was also like 15 years ago.
Riddick was not 15 years ago. It was 3 years ago.
What? That wasn't that Pitch Black?
No, Pitch Black, and then the Chronicles of Riddick. Riddick was the remake that was like 3 years ago.
Was that tied into Chronicles of
2013.
Narnia?
Huh?
Was Chronicles
No.
of Riddick?
No.
All right.
It was just Riddick. It was just called Riddick.
All right, then my bad.
All right.
Are we going to be able to get through the rest of this after your
Yeah, after our fight.
temper tantrum?
Yeah, we have to do our top 5. So we got to go quick.
We're not going to have time.
We have time. We have plenty of time. So what?
All right.
Want to cut it into 2?
No.
Top 2. Let's just do top 2.
All right, Justin, top 5 favorite female superheroes. This is our lead-in.
So
Go.
mine are going to be weird. You're going to make fun of me for
Right.
a few of them.
In at number 5.
And at number 5, Mantis from the Guardians run. And then I liked her character, the way she interacted with Groot.
This is going to take forever.
Shut up. You said you wanted more talking from me.
All right.
You're going to get it.
All right, go.
I liked her in that Guardians run, and then I started reading about her and finding out more about her character, about who she is, the Celestial Mother. She's a cool character.
I've just never heard anyone say they like Mantis.
Well,
I was
and
confused.
we're going to get to see her on film for the first time in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 next summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, number 4,
Brie Olsen is Mantis now.
Go ahead.
Number 4, Scarlet Witch from the movie. I thought she was cool. And
Are you just going with movie characters?
no, shut up.
All right.
Let me do my characters.
Don't pick on him. That's all he watches. He's not a comic guy.
Okay. All right. Shut up, Ken.
You shut up. God's sakes.
So Scarlet Witch, the character in the movie made me want to go and learn more about her actual backstory.
All right.
90s X-Men Rogue. I
Okay.
loved Rogue in the 90s X-Men cartoon. She was cool.
Jerked off the 90s X-Men.
Dude, I was like 8.
Don't say that. Sherry's listening.
Number 2 is Black Widow. Very obvious reasons.
Just put Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
So it's just Scarlett. This is just
I like
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Johansson in leather.
But Black Widow. And then my number 1.
Number 1.
My number 1, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
I knew you were going to laugh. I absolutely loved that show. That show was on when I was in high school.
I like that show too. I can't make fun of you for that. I actually
Sarah
love
Michelle
that show.
Gellar was my absolute high school crush.
Okay.
I loved the show. I thought the show was really well done.
I never saw the show.
Really?
It's a great show.
It was a
on
great
Netflix.
show.
Yeah.
It is, but I'm
It's dated. I've tried to go
Yeah.
back and watch it, and it is dated.
Very like no cell phones or anything.
But at the time that like Tuesday nights, I was in front of the TV, and if the phone rang and
No,
it was
I
one of my
was too.
friends, I got pissed off.
Especially
at
when
people.
Angel followed it, I loved it.
Yeah, and then I didn't move on to the comics afterwards, and I kind of wish I had, so I may go back and read them.
Season
You got
8 was
any
good.
honorable mentions?
I don't. Well, Catwoman was on my list, but
Okay.
she kind of
Teeter.
toes that line of
another
Yeah.
girl in tight
Yeah.
leather.
All right, Brock.
All
Top
right.
5.
I'll go with Wonder Woman for number 5 because she's the most important, I think.
Okay, I agree.
So she had to make the list somewhere. Number 4, I'll go with the Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman from
Okay.
Avengers West Coast. That was my favorite book
I
as
like
a
it.
kid.
I like it.
Then it spun out into Force Works. I thought she was cool, and the costume was great. They
That
kind
was.
of ripped it off for the symbiote costume.
It was good. It's good look.
Yeah, for sure. And then number 3, I'm up to 3 already, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on 3. Don't do it like Perry that one time.
Let's
my
start
number
counting
2,
back down.
and then my 3, and then 4, and then my number 8. We were like, what are you talking about?
Number 3, I'm going to go with She-Hulk.
Okay.
She's everything that Bruce Banner could be, but she doesn't have the rage issues, so she can control it. And then
Plus, we learned in the new Civil War book that she can jump from the land all the way to the helicarrier.
Hulk could do that too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk could jump for about a mile and a
I don't know
half.
how you time that just right, though.
Right.
There it is.
I don't think they move very fast.
Yeah, it's just floating.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman.
Oh, wow. It's just a surprise.
We were just talking about Sue Storm today and her boob 4 window. That
Remember when
used
she
to
had
have.
the boob 4
the
window?
boob window.
And she always had a classy costume, except for that
That
90s.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Because she got a giant gun, a leather jacket, a boob window, and she's like the stereotypical.
She was
90s.
just dressed like a total slut while she was like a
Right.
mother of
Me
2.
too.
Right.
Walking around with her boobs hanging out, her ass hanging out.
And then, number 1, I'm going to go with Barbara Gordon as either Batgirl or Oracle.
Oh, wow.
Do you have a preference of one or the other?
I like
You just
Oracle
like Babs
better.
in general.
Yeah, because she became paralyzed, and instead of just giving up on who she was, she found a way to contribute through technology and all that other stuff.
I kind of wish they would have kept her as Oracle.
Me too.
I miss Oracle. I don't like that. There's no need for her to be Batgirl now, especially when you have Spoiler, Batwoman,
Right.
Orphan.
Well, someone is someone. One of the Rebirth books is Batgirl and the Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
and they're trying to figure out because someone is taking the mantle.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to track that down.
Yeah, it would be nice if she was just Oracle again, because it was cool when she would sit there at the Watchtower and do
Yeah.
all that. Basically, they ripped that off for Arrow now when they use Overwatch for Felicity, when that's just all that is.
So that's my list. Did I give you enough time?
Yeah,
Okay.
you did. You did great.
Is that enough time for a video, Don?
That's enough time for a video. All right, so my list, right? You want to take any stabs here?
I oversaw it. I looked over and
You ruined it. You look. You had
I
to
know.
look over.
I know who your number 1's gonna be.
So I'm sorry that I honestly said I couldn't name them all, and you'd be like, "Oh, can you know?" Like,
All right. So my number 5 is M from the X-Men.
just the letter M.
Just the letter M. Do you know anything about M there, Cheeseball?
She's as smart as she is strong.
M is different because she basically has like almost like every cool power. Like she's like the perfect mutant,
She's Superman.
and she's cocky about it, and she's like a jerk about it, and has this like cocky attitude. She has a little bit of a little bit of like telepathy powers, but she's strong and flies. She's almost like a, micro Superman. She's not super Hulk level strong, but she's tough. She's a badass. She's been on a bunch of teams. I didn't really like her when she was in Gen X more, but when she joined X Factor, that run, which they were like the detective agency, I fell in love with her. I thought she was fantastic.
That's a character that they've written. You could see her progress in the writing.
Because she's just great. She can do it all.
did pretty well.
Number 4 for me is Emma Frost, who I don't really classify as a villain anymore because she's been a part of the X-Men for the past,
20 years.
20
years now. So I hate Jean Grey. I never liked the character. She bores me, and I can't stand her. I loved Emma and Cyclops together. I thought they were the best. That was one of the best X couples ever. And she's just cool. She's sexy. She's badass. She slept with Tony Stark just for the hell of it, and she's just cool. Slept with Namor to like.
If we're naming who these people slept
I know.
with.
I had She-Hulk on my
She-Hulk
list.
slept
Let's
with
go.
Juggernaut.
She-Hulk slept with
Wolverine,
Juggernaut.
like-
Well, you remember during the Utopia saga where she like Namor like wanted her and she like slept with Namor and it like comes back and is like, oh, he's on our side now, and they were like, well, how did you pull that off? She's like, you don't want to, and you like just gave him what he wants. She's cool. 3, why I got so passionate about our argument before, is the original Miss Marvel for me, who is now Captain Marvel. I don't like the new Miss Marvel. I like Miss Marvel in the Warbird costume. You all know the one I want. And why is everybody looking at their phone right now? What is everybody doing? Are we looking something up, or what are we doing? My top 10 list is boring.
Well, is it 10 or is it 5?
It's 5.
It's always supposed to be 5.
Literally
Season
everyone's
I'm
looking
not
at-
on my. I'm looking up.
He's looking
your
up the characters
images
and-
of
I'm
what you're
looking up
saying.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
From
looking
my-
up
oh,
stuff.
stop it.
So I like the original Miss Marvel. She's gone down. She probably was one of my favorites, but she's gone down to 3 because I don't really like her as Captain Marvel. I wish she would go back to being just Miss Marvel, because I thought she was the Avengers chick for the longest time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was the shit for a while. I didn't think they need to make her Captain Marvel, but anyway, she's still cool. That's why I don't want Brie Larson playing her, because she's amazing.
Because, you don't like what they're going with the character. But
Right.
We figured that out.
Number 2 is another X-Men. It's who?
Polaris.
Polaris. She was in my top 5 X-Men, so she definitely makes my female list. I already ran about her before. I love Polaris. The Mistress of Magnetism is the shit for me. She always has been since I was a kid. I just think she's great because she was married to Havoc. But anyway. And my number 1 is who, Ken?
Wait a minute. Number 1?
You know? Did you look?
No.
Then say it.
Then you said-
Power Girl.
Power Girl!
Oh, I forgot about Boob Window. Oh.
No, Power Girl, was in the run I liked the most of the JSA. She's like the full-blown leader of them at the time. And
Full blown is the best
well,
word.
Power Girl's great because she's a badass. She's way cooler than Supergirl because she's tough, beats the shit out of people, and her boobs are hanging out, and they make a joke about it. I mean, she wears a boob window the bad guys were distracted by because they're like checking them out, and she would literally say in some scenes like, my eyes are up here, and like use it to her advantage to knock somebody out while they're staring at her chest.
Well, there's a great hero click that says that she has a power in one of her hero clicks. It says, "Hey, soldier, eyes up here."
Eyes up here, yeah. It's just great, and her interaction with the JSA team and trying not to check her out because they're worried that she'll kick the shit out of you. But, and then DC, when they do 52 to her, covered her up.
And put a P on her chest.
And put like a P on her chest. It was horrible. And then right at the end, put the boob window back. So she's not in any Rebirth title yet. I don't know where she's at, but
She'll be around.
kind of hoping she gets her book back because I used to love her comic.
Okay.
It was good. And I wish they'd bring her back and put her with the JSA again. All right. And that's it.
Okay, so I don't
What
get
is
it.
that? Oh, yeah. I forgot Ken. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no need for me. That's it, guys.
Well, we did 3 and I forgot.
It's fine.
Go ahead.
All right, so my number 5 is not Carol Danvers' Miss Marvel. It's Kamala Kwan. Miss Marvel.
You and this Kamala Kwan love affair.
I think she's a good character that's original for the time period. She's a teenage Indian girl who gets powers from the Inhuman to Jiren Mist, and there you go. So I don't know if I'm going to get away with this one, but I'm going to do for
Okay.
number 4. But Ramona Flowers, because she's fighting.
She is.
So
yeah.
I liked her.
She's from a comic book.
Yeah, Scott
fine.
Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers. I always enjoy.
Makes sense she's on your list. You have her on your arm.
Yeah, she's tattooed permanently on
Yeah.
her body. Number 3 is Carol Danvers. Now, you went Miss Marvel based on the Warbird costume.
Okay.
I like military leader Carol Danvers. Right now in the Ultimates, right now leading A-Force
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
I still love her, too. I just liked when she was called Miss Marvel.
I like that she is kind of filling in the role for a Captain America.
She is. She's the female Captain America.
She is, she's a leader. She's strong. She doesn't need to show an awful lot of skin.
She used to in the
She used
Warbird costume.
The Warbird costume
She
is a
looked great.
swimsuit.
When Frank Cho drew her in that costume, she was great.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great image.
Yeah.
You
With the sachet thing hanging down.
The weird scar.
Yeah, she was a badass.
Yeah. Number 2, Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Oh, wow.
No one picked that. And if you want to, all these people were talking about putting female leads into all this stuff. It's been going on for 155 issues of Walking Dead. Well, minus 19 because that was her first appearance.
Yeah.
But she is a badass. She is a rock of that book, and she is totally never swayed from her opinion, never did anything wrong, like other than maybe being a pirate for a little bit. It was a little weird, but Michonne is great. That's
a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
And the number one is Scarlet Witch. I always liked the fact that she had so many issues personally because she was able to control matter with hex magic, and she was her father was Magneto, the most evil villain for a long period of time, and felt that she needed to right the wrongs of her father by being part of the Avengers. There's so much depth to her, and then even when you get in to break it down from like when she's in the Avengers and starts going crazy and creates 2 children with her android husband
Avengers
Vision.
disassembled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And then I think the best time I've read Scarlet Witch is there's a Young Avengers book where Wiccan and Speed are trying to find Doom and Magneto and all this stuff and it's called, I can't remember the name of it now. It's Avengers Children's Crusade.
Yeah.
And it's great story.
Yeah.
I recommend it. It's like a 6-issue mini, and it shows Scarlet Witch and how vulnerable she can be at times, and why she did what she needed to do and use her hex magic and whatnot to.
She's a big deal.
Yeah, and I feel like in the movies they can't go as balls deep as they have in the comics with her because it's not going to be any kind of
she's
believable
just like filler.
stuff. But if they in the comics recently they haven't done her justice. I don't think.
No, she came back stupid.
Yeah, they kind of nerfed her again, which is like what they do anytime with these people. Like they nerf her powers for a little bit so she can be, and then whenever they need to ramp her up, she ramps her
You're either like a god-like being, or you're just making little trap doors and making people slip. And nothing exciting.
But I've always liked Scarlet Witch.
All right.
So, all right.
What are we at? 3 hours?
About an hour and 7 minutes.
All right. Time to wrap it up then, folks.
So please go to the YouTube page that you're watching right now and like it and subscribe to us, please. We're looking to get 100 subscribers.
And we're far away, man.
We're not even halfway there. Whoa.
We're not halfway there.
Whoa. So
come on, Brock, sing. Thanks to Brock for joining us here
thank
again.
you.
Thanks for having me.
It's fun having you. Sorry that you had to witness us get ugly and angry in here, but when you're hurt by someone forgetting your birthday, you just get angry, and then you just want to fight a mother. You know what? So sorry, but we're gonna all go hug and kiss each other now and make up.
we're gonna go watch the rest of this Pens game.
All right, we'll see you folks later.